Hello, my little leprechauns, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed, please take a second to do that. I'd really appreciate it. We're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers. I think that's the goal I'm giving myself this year, and that's a lot of new subscribers. So if you could help me out and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Welcome back, everyone who's returning. We are doing one of my favorite segments, which I call Battle of the Palettes. What we do in this segment is we take two palettes and for some reason, whatever reason I decide, we compare them and decide which one is the winner, which is the better palette. Some of the things that we have compared in the past is we did a global challenge. So we had two palettes from outside the United States that went head to head. Sometimes we compare by color story. Sometimes we compare within the same brand. Sometimes we do an indie comparison. It's kind of whatever I decide. And today it had to be St. Patrick's Day edition. Now, St. Patrick's Day is coming up. I'm excited. I probably won't be doing anything, possibly drinking some green beer, if I can find it. I can find it. But that's pretty much my St. Patrick's Day plan. The one thing that you have to know about St. Patrick's Day is you have to wear green. And where am I gonna wear green? Besides on my clothes, it's on my eyeshadow. So I thought it would be fun to take two palettes that had St. Patrick's Day kind of color schemes and compare them and decide who is the winner. Now with St. Patrick's Day, I feel like it's a very specific green. You know, it's green and it's gold and it's yellow a little bit, but it's that Kelly green. That is the color that reminds me of St. Patrick's Day. So I kind of scoured my collection and I pulled out two palettes that I thought had the best Kelly greens in them. And I might have picked wrong, but we are gonna find out. So our first contender, this is a St. Patrick's Day palette for sure, because it's called Just My Luck. This one is from ColourPop. This is actually the second one I have of this palette because the first one crumbled into bits. So it looks like I haven't used it, but that's because this is the second one that I own of it. I had to get rid of the first one. But this, lots of green, a lot of Kelly greens. You got a yellowy green, perfect for St. Patrick's Day. I was not sure who would be able to follow up this palette. Who would be a great contender to go against this palette in Battle of the Palettes? Well, interestingly enough, I found one from Nomad that I thought actually had some great Kelly greens. Now this is the MONTEVERDE palette. It's a beautiful palette. It's not just greens, but the greens in here, I just saw these and I was like, yeah, that's absolutely perfect for St. Patrick's Day. A bronzy green? Yes, absolutely. So we are gonna go ahead, we're gonna do a different palette on each eye and decide who wins Battle of the Palettes. So let's get into it. Now I have not used my Just My Luck palette in a hot minute, so this should be interesting. But this is, again, as a reminder, this is what we're dealing with. So green, so green. Is it too much green though? Is that even a thing? I don't think that's a thing. But you know what? We are gonna go ahead and start with Kiss My Ass. H-A-S-S. H-A-S-S. Don't demonetize me, YouTube. And we're gonna start with that because that is, it's green color and we like greens. We're just gonna lay that down. Now I did already prime my eyes with my Give Me Glow eyeshadow primer in the color Parchment. So we are all primed and ready to go. This is one of their like sequin shades. So it has got like shimmers in there, but then you try to put it on your eye and it just looks like a matte, which is fine by me, but a little confusing. Now I feel like St. Patrick's Day, even though you would think it's an Irish holiday, which if you're Irish, let me know, how big is it in Ireland? I've heard it's weirdly bigger in America. We like an excuse to dye our beer green. I think that's what it is. But let me know if you're from Ireland, how big the celebration is there. And do I need to come next year? Because I want to. I've never been to Ireland. It is literally at the top of my bucket list of places that I want to go though, because it just looks beautiful and it's got so much history. And that's one thing, like America has history, but not the thousands and thousands of years that you find in like Europe, you know? And I want to experience that. So we're gonna go into Act Natural. I'm gonna just fluff that around the outer edges of my eyes. We're not doing any sort of like super complicated look. We are just doing a super green look. for St. Patrick's Day. This look is actually making me happy already. I love green. I've said this in a couple of my previous videos, but I fully believe that color is making a comeback, as in colorful eyeshadow. And I say that because the last couple times that I've worn really colorful eyeshadow out, I've gotten a ton of compliments from strangers. And there was one person who was working at Starbucks and she was like, sorry, I got distracted blending. She was like, oh, I really love your green eyeshadow. You never see color on people's eyes anymore. And I miss it. And I was like, you know what? It's coming back. It's coming back. We are going to start a revolution of color. Okay. First of all, really like how all of this is laying down. I sometimes forget, I have a very extensive ColourPop collection. I sometimes forget how great it is because it really is great. Okay, I really want to go into this Big Banks color here. So I'm going to put some on a brush and put it somewhere on my eye. I think I'm going to put it up here. Ooh, that's a pretty color. I think it's Chicago, right, that dyes their actual river green? Mad respect for that. Maybe I need to go to Chicago. Do I need to go to Chicago? Maybe. Okay, I really like that. We have, okay, we have a color in here that's kind of similar to the Nomad one, which is like a little bit of a bronzy green color, and I really like that. So I am going to go into that color. I'm gonna put it on the rest of my eye because I really like that. Okay, I'm gonna go back into Kiss My Ass. Not a swear word, I swear. And we're just gonna put it underneath the waterline like so. Gonna blend it together a little bit. Oh, okay. And that is a green look. There's one more thing that I kind of want to do. I kind of want to go into this Mary Jane color because it's super weird and I like it. And I'm just going to, what are we gonna do? I'm gonna put a little bit on this brush. Stick it in the corner of my eye. Yeah, love it, love it. Okay, we will be doing eyeliner and mascara at the end. No worries, it looks incomplete because it is. So let me go ahead and prime this eye and then we'll get into the Nomad palette. Moving on to the Nomad Monteverde palette. Yes, Nomad is actually coming out with a literal Ireland themed palette this week. But I don't have it yet, so I can't use it in this video. So I'll have to do a separate review. Totally fine. I'm okay with that. Okay, so I think we have to go into Green Spiny Lizard to start with, because that is a pretty Kelly green. And it is calling my name. So, oh yeah, this one is a little bit more yellow, which I think makes it a little bit more of the green that I was looking for. And I think in order to do a more or less accurate comparison between the two palettes, we're gonna do a similar kind of layout that we did on this eye, kind of duplicate it using the different palettes. So we don't really have the right kind of green to darken it up though. We have Glass Wings. So let's go into that one. That one might be too dark, but we will see. Oh, maybe not. It looks really dark in the pan. It's not quite as dark on the eye, which is nice. Okay, we have that nice and blended out. Let's go ahead and go into, I think this is more St. Patrick's Day. This color is Wildlife Wonderland. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that one in my crease, just like I did with the other palette. Ooh, I haven't used this palette in a while. I forgot how much I like the shimmers in it. Pretty. Okay, now we are gonna go into that bronzy green color, the Hanging Bridges. And I'm actually just gonna use my finger with this one. I'm just gonna put it on the rest of my eye. Oh, I think that one is actually kind of looking more green than bronzy, which is kind of perfect. And then of course we're gonna go back into Green Spiny Lizard, which was the first color we used. Put that in my waterline. Okay, and we need a pop of something. I'm gonna go into Green Vine Snake actually. And even though that's a matte, I am gonna put that one in the corner of my eye. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put on eyeliner, I'm gonna put on mascara, and I wanna compare the two eyes, the two looks, and then let's talk about who's gonna win this round of Battle of the Palettes. We are back with eyeliner and mascara, and I even threw on some highlighter. I pulled out my light stick from ColourPop in the color Darcy from their Winx collection. These are amazing, and it's a little bit green tinted. Obsessed. Let's decide who won the St. Patrick's Day edition of Battle of the Palettes. Just as a reminder, we used ColourPop's Just My Luck on this side and Nomad's Monteverde palette on this side. Yeah. Pretty sure, yeah. Okay, I got the sides right. But what is the better green? What side represents St. Patrick's Day better? First off, I'm curious to hear your opinions down below. So let me know which eye you think looks more like St. Patrick's Day, because this is actually really hard. It's hard because I think my favorite eye is not the most St. Patrick's Day vibe eye. Okay, let's get into it. Just My Luck is literally an Ireland palette, right? It's got all the greens. It's got that goldy greeny color. It's got this cool yellow greeny color. It's just kind of perfect. It really is, okay? And I would say that everything applied beautifully. This is definitely one of ColourPop's great formulas, so everything was super smooth. Their shimmers are this super smooth kind of satiny shimmers, and they're really beautiful. They don't give you quite the pow effect that some of the other shimmers, say in the Nomad palette, give you, but they're very, like, they look great. They kind of meld into the look a little bit better, I would say. The Nomad palette, while not a just solely green palette, I think gave us some great greens for St. Patrick's Day. The Green Spiny Lizard, the Wildlife Wonderland shimmer, like these were all great colors, and I really liked the Green Vine Snake, though I will say I don't feel like this was a St. Patrick's Day color. We tried it, wasn't exactly 100% St. Patrick's Day. And honestly, that's why we're gonna have to go with Just My Luck as the winner of this round for the most St. Patrick's Day look. And that's because, well, these greens are fantastic. And this color, the bronzy green, is actually more green in this palette than the ColourPop one. This is just more Kelly green to me. It's just more St. Patrick's Day vibey to me, okay? It's like that pretty Kelly green and just like smooth shimmers, and it's got a little bit of yellow for the pot of gold. Like, it just seems a little more St. Patrick's Day, but I kind of like the look on this eye better. I really liked the pop in Green Vine Snake, but again, it didn't work in this look because it just wasn't really the St. Patrick's Day color that I was looking for. I think the Green Spiny Lizard was, and I think the Wildlife Wonderland was a good color, but overall, I just have to say, Just My Luck was kind of the perfect St. Patrick's Day palette. Shimmers are also very different, right? We talked about the shimmers in the ColourPop palette. The shimmers in the Nomad palette are just like, they're so much more sparkly, which is kind of why I wanted this look to win, but it was edged out by this much, okay? Honestly though, I love both looks. I think both looks work perfectly fine for St. Patrick's Day or for any day. You don't need a reason to wear green eyeshadow. Wear it when you want. And that was our St. Patrick's Day version of Battle of the Palettes. I hope you enjoyed this video. I have fun doing videos like this because it gives me a chance to kind of reach in and use some of the palettes that I haven't used in a while. And it gives me a chance to really just appreciate them for what they are. Greeny goodness in this case. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!